Hi everybody, Joe here from SHUTTERSPEAK Photography. Very nice to see your smiling faces again here on YouTube. So, Skylum has just dropped the Luminar 1.0.1 update. It brings a few changes and 111 bug fixes to be exact. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the changes are and what the bug fixes are and what you can expect and when you should be able to get this new update. So, first off, I'd like to say thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. And if anything in this video helps you out, please help me out by hitting subscribe and ring the bell so you get future updates when videos come out on this channel. I'd certainly appreciate it, and it's something that you can do to help me, and it's free. So, that being out of the way, let's get right on to this update. So, again, this is 1.0.1. It's a bug fix update. This is not the update that includes the Sky AI 2.0. That's going to be in update 1.1. An important distinction here, this is 1.0.1. Okay, so this is bug fixes and some changes to the edit panel, the import icon, and a few other things. So let's get started as to what these changes are. Okay, so based on feedback and bug supports and reports from users, there are some things that they've taken care of and some things that they've changed. So first off, a more convenient edit panel layout. In Luminar 1.0.1, you're going to find a more comfortable edit panel layout with all of the edit tools in one list. The Essential, Creative, Portrait, and Pro tools are divided into color-coded categories, and there's no need to switch between tabs. And in fact, you can't switch between tabs because the tabs have been completely removed. Okay, you have all the tools you need to create masterpieces at your fingertips. So, what does this mean? It simply means they've taken away those side tabs in the edit panel and placed everything in one layout. Why did they do it? Well, because based on feedback and support tickets, there were users who could not find tools within the menus because they would use it and then forget what menu it was in, which tab, and go back and create a support ticket saying I can't find this tool. And so to eliminate that, they basically placed everything in one panel, scrolling up and down. I would say almost more similar to what Lightroom has. Okay, so those tabs on the side, those were called workspaces. So they've eliminated the workspaces. They're color-coded. You'll notice they kind of go from like a lighter to a darker shade. There's no significance to the colors. It's just a gradient. Enhance AI has been moved. It's now first because they feel like that's the kind of the first tool that you should use in your edit workflow. So they've moved that up to the top. And you're also going to notice tooltips. So almost every button now has a tooltip to kind of help you in the right direction, to guide you so that you know what a tool does. Okay, so next up, there's a new pop-up when clicking the import icon. So, according to Skylum, enjoy a more intuitive and comfortable interface when importing photos, thanks to the visual backup. Just click the plus icon in the toolbar and choose whether you'd like to add a folder or add a single image. Importing images has never been easier. Well, I don't know about that, but there are icons now that pop up when you click the import icon. So that's something new. As I mentioned, Enhance AI opens up by default now when you first click into the edit panel. Okay, for this photo, it is now an easier to scroll through suggested section. So you can now comfortably scroll using templates in the For This Photo section, using the left and right arrows to choose the AI recommended start template that works best for your photo. This is something that's I think was needed. I think it was a little bit frustrating trying to use the template tab, at least in my experience, especially on Windows 10 with a 4K monitor. And the toning tool has now been redesigned as well. So it now has a shadow and highlight slide bar and matches the design of similar AI tools. As we mentioned, tool tips throughout to make things easier so you know which buttons do what, so you'll see those. And a list of localized improvements, basically improvements to languages, French, German, Japanese, etc. So the names of the templates have now been localized, and again, improvements in these languages. And in addition to that, they've caught and fixed 111 bugs. Some of them are on Mac OS, some of them are on Windows 10. I'm going to hit you up with the highlights. Okay, export photos and replace existing files in folders without crashes. Well, that's for Mac users. Also for Mac users, move subfolders within a folder without a hitch. Use clone and stamp on zoom photos to enjoy smooth results without artifacts or crashes. Smoothly switch between templates with no more overlapping of the previous template. Add ping files to your textures in a local masking tool. Here's one for Mac users that this does not affect Windows users. Use Command Z or undo in the erase tool to go back one step instead of removing all previous adjustments. So that's kind of a big difference, and that's going to be a welcome tool for Mac users, and it's going to be something that us Windows users are going to definitely miss. So that's something that will come to Windows hopefully in a later update. But so again, using Command Z will step you one step back at a time in the erase tool. Sky AI tool now shows all images in the custom list, including images with the TIFF or TIF extension. And the plugin for Lightroom and Photoshop, some bug fixes have been caught there. Luminar, the Skylum, does recommend that you uninstall Luminar AI and reinstall Luminar AI to fix any problems with your Lightroom and Photoshop plugins and to force the update of those plugins. Now, this is an update that you can do just by clicking the check for update, and you may be prompted on screen to update. But again, if you're having a problem with those plugins, an uninstall and then reinstall may be needed for you. Now on Windows, no more issues working in the edit panel when the screen is scaled to 150% for your font size that we're referring to there, and viewing in full HD, or in most people's cases 4K. On Windows 10, on a 4K monitor, the default recommended setting for fonts is scaled to 150%. This caused some sliders not to appear within Luminar. That was absolutely, by the way, a programming error on their part, and a pretty basic one at that. That has now been resolved, thankfully. As a 4K Windows 10 user, I'm very happy about that. Apply changes in the optics tool and switch to other tools without loss of image sharpness. Again, also there was a slider in the optics tab that was not working due to font scaling. That should be working now as well. Smooth crash-free migration from Luminar 4, even if the looks folder is inaccessible, and more realistic background blend when adding custom objects in the PNG format using Augmented Sky AI. So that's really, in a nutshell, everything that's going on. So in terms of that, there's really not much else to tell, except for we should expect to see support for Luminar 4 continue through next summer, in which case support for Luminar 4 will end. So you have a little less than about a year and a half of support left on Luminar 4 if you enjoy using that, or if you still prefer it due to a little bit of the growing pains that we've had with Luminar AI. Additionally, what about Luminar 1.1? When can we expect to see that with Augmented Sky AI 2.0? Well, Skylum is telling us that we should learn more somewhere in mid-February. Now, that doesn't mean it's coming out in mid-February. What it means is we're going to learn more about when it's coming out, hopefully in mid-February. So stay tuned for that. When we find out more, I will let you know. So that's all that's going on with this. Oh, and one more thing that's very important that I should mention. This is a rolling update, so not everyone is going to get it on the same day. So if you open up Luminar AI today and it doesn't prompt you for this update, just be patient. It's a rolling update and everyone will get it eventually. But some people are going to get it sooner than others. This doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It just means it hasn't hit you yet. Be patient. It'll get to you. Okay? So that's it for now. I hope you find this helpful. And I hope you get this update and it fixes a lot of the bugs that you've been experiencing, and it makes using the software a lot better and more convenient for you. Please do me a favor, let me know in the comments if you experience any problems or crashes with this release, and if it fixes things for you, I'd like to hear about that too. Let me know. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time, YouTube. Bye-bye.